Welcome back to another HABS Daily News with the hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchie. Today, episode number 45. Yesterday, we talked about the salary cap situation with the Montreal Canadiens. Now we talk about the Montreal Canadiens, their RFA and UFA players. What and how they're going to resign them for the upcoming season. Don't go nowhere. Hey, you know the drill. You know what's coming. Of course, you have to click on the like, subscribe to the show, sharing this video. And finally, below this video, please leave me a comment about the episode number 45. And today we're going to talk about what is next contract cost for the Montreal Canadiens for the RFA and UFA. The UFA DARCY KUEMPER, how is going to return with the Colorado Avalanche or is going to be on the market? Which team will love to sign DARCY KUEMPER? Finally, we continue the NHL draft prospect. Today we talk about the best defenseman draft NHL. Finally, we're going to give you an update playoff Stanley Cup final. So let's talk in, guys, what we started yesterday. We're sharing with you guys the salary cap of the Montreal Canadiens. They are about $2 million of their max of the salary cap. They have 4 players they have to resign, and then they possibly be over cap for sure. So they have 6 full RFA and they have 4 UFA right now, and the roster, they can resign them for the upcoming season. So let's dive in, guys. How is the next situation for each player's contract they could have? RFA, Michael play after the season with the Montreal Canadiens. I still believe he's going to get a 2-week contract, minimum in NHL. What a surprise they kept him on the waiver from the Minnesota Wild. Still, he's 24 years old. I understand what he brings on the table for the Montreal Canadiens. His contract finished this year below $1 million. I expect the same kind of money he will get for the Montreal Canadiens for 1 year or maybe a 2-year at $1 million. That will bring him after that a UFA. And we call this like a bridge contract. Montembeault, goaltender, got also waived from the Florida Panthers. The Montreal Canadiens claimed him at the beginning of the year. Same situation like Pitlick. He played many games for the Montreal Canadiens, struggled most of the time, below .900 save percentage. I expect not more at $1 million maximum. Go with under. Now, the biggest question of all the players right there is really Alex Romanov. His entry-level contract, 3 years complete, below at $1 million prior. With a bonus, he got average of $1.1 million since the beginning of the 3 years with Montreal Canadiens. Now, what he can get, he's still 22. He's about 4 years before he become a UFA. They have all 2 different ways. We know Romanov really developed this year. He become a really major key important for the Montreal Canadiens as a second pairing defenseman. He increasing if too high at the end of the season, and then I believe he should be under $3 million. I understand many of you, oh no, he should be $4 million. Montreal cannot afford that kind of money at that moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe sign him max 1 year, 3.5, but expect a 2 years contract at $3 million or maybe a 3 years contract at $3 million. That's my expectation. That will bring him 1 year before he become a UFA. That's give a little bit more room for the Montreal to play with a salary cap for the next 2-3 years. So really important to follow up that story with Alexandre Romanov, his RFA. Don't expect any offer sheet or something like that. But he still need to develop to get better. That's the reason why under $3 million, I would be fine. Corey Schoeneman, he came from undrafted players, signed with the Montreal Canadiens, make a couple games with the Montreal overall, play in and out. I don't expect more 2-way players for the Montreal Canadiens. They're going to offer him a contract. Finally, now about Cayden Primeau, guys, you have no many things they can do with him. Honestly, or Primeau can negotiate a lot. This is his second contract in NHL. Expect Primeau to get a 2-way contract like a Schoeneman or Pesera, And he have an amazing, great player off, by the way, with American Hockey League, the Laval Rocket. Now, the UFA, Montreal have 3. They have Dauphin, Tyler Pitlick, and they have Mathieu Perreault. The only one I expect to get a contract 2 ways is Laurent Dauphin. Dauphin came after Christmas, joined the Montreal Canadiens, is our bottom 6. We have many like him, like Jake Evans and Rand Poland. At his age, Dauphin, and I know saying he got drafted with Arizona Coyotes. I think the Montreal Canadiens is going to get him a 2-way. Pitlick is another different situation because he's 30 years old, been in the NHL with Dallas and also Calgary Flame. So it's something we have to follow, Pitlick, but I don't think so Montreal is going to offer him a contract for the upcoming season. They have too many players they have already, and some may be coming for the Laval Rockets, so they have to open up possible a spot for the younger players, prospect in the Montreal. Who is going to be out? I don't see they going to resign a Glag and Lagasson. Lagasson came from a trade with the Oilers for Kulak. Finally, the veteran Perreault, I think, is going to be out for the Montreal. It could also happen for Tyler Pitlick. So, guys, this is the situation for the Montreal for the contract. Please, below this video, give me your thought about this. What do you think Romanov should get next season? The next thing I want to talk about is, of course, our series of the UF3 or trade bait NHL for the off-summer. Darcy KUEMPER still right now in the final Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche. Complete his last year of his contract in the NHL. He has about $4.8 million per year. The 32 years old is going to looking now to become a UFA. What are his options for him? I believe he can stay in Colorado if they keep him under $5 million. Can he accept a $5 million 3 years? I think Colorado will be happy about this. I think he could be also happy. If not, he can get direction by Edmonton Oilers and New Jersey Devils or Buffalo Sabres like we talk about Jack Campbell. Can the Toronto Maple Leafs offer a contract with him? My only concern, Toronto, they are really limited about the money, salary cap, and I think could be a problem for them to sign Darcy KUEMPER. But who knows? Everything could happen. What he could ask for me, $6 million at 4 years. He's 32 years old, it's not 30. But last season, they have 37, 12, and 4 for the save percentage, guys, of 9-1 and 2.54. That's really great year for him with his first with the Colorado Avalanche when he got traded from the Arizona Coyotes and returned again a first-round pick and, of course, the prospect O'Brien. Now, one thing you have to pay attention about Darcy KUEMPER, guys, in the last 7 years, 5 of them, he has a save percentage over .920, and 4 of them with the Arizona Coyotes. Just give you an idea how he's performed, and I think it's a little bit more underrated what we expect. So he could add on this market $6 million. I believe Colorado can sign him at $5 million. That's not change their salary cap situation. I think both parties could be happy. Now it's time to talk about the defensemen in this draft. They have a lot of great defensemen. I would not be surprised. 5 to 8 defensemen are going to be out on the first round on the NHL 2022 draft. Let's talk about the best offensive defensemen on this draft. Pavel Mentyukov, Denton Mateychuk, David Jiricek, Simon Nemec, Kevin Kościński. All great defensemen. I just love Simon Nemec, to be honest with you. The best defensive defense for this draft is David Jiricek, Calle O'Lelius, Ryan Chesley, Isa George, and Leon Bichel. That's another great set of defensemen. I believe Chesley should be in the first round. Also, O'Delius and Bichel could be at the beginning of the second round initial draft. Now, let's move in with the best transition defensemen. So the players moving with the puck or the breakout is Denton Mateychuk, Pavel Mentyukov, Simon Nemec, David Jiricek, and Calle O'Delius. I expect Mateychuk and Mentyukov be out between 12 and 20 in the first round. Finally, the best neutral zone defender. That's why you talk about the cap control and one they face to the players coming to opponent teams coming with the puck. David Jiricek, Calle O'Delius, Danton Medichuk, Simon Nemec, and Isaac George. Finally, to conclude episode number 45, the NHL playoff, the Stanley Cup final, game number 3 tonight. We are back in Tampa Bay Lightning building, the Amelia Hockey Rink, and the Colorado Avalanche lead this series 2-0. Can the Tampa Bay Lightning bounce back? We know the experience, we know that they accomplished the last 2 years, but is it good enough with the experience to try how they can beat the Colorado Avalanche? This, you have a lot of mixed opinion about this. They expect possible. Can the Colorado win both games and sweep Tampa Bay? I still believe, with all the respect, with Tampa Bay, we put them down so many times. They always come back. But this time, I don't think so. They can find a way to beat and back in the series and win this series. I think Colorado is too much for them. Here we go, guys. Episode number 45 is over. We did very good on the contract for the Montreal Canadiens, the players with the RFA or UFA. We talk about the UFA, DARCY, KUEMPER for the Colorado Avalanche. Finally, we talk about the best defenseman for the NHL Draft 2022. And, of course, another update for the NHL Playoff Stanley Cup Final. And before we leave, we want to remind you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the show. Please sharing this video. And below this video, tell me what you think about the episode number 45. And, of course, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing Monday, everybody.